Hello world, it is another day to be alive. It is another wonderful day to live and move and breathe and talk about all kinds of fun things. Yesterday I talked about vigilance and how vigilance in our thoughts can allow us to change the course of our life. Literally our life. If we are used to telling ourselves negative thoughts all the time, whether we realize it or not, even on autopilot and subconsciously, we are telling ourselves, in other words, we're telling our brain how to enable us to move forward in whatever direction that's going to be, whether for the good or for the bad. So vigilance is how we stop those negative thoughts in their tracks when they come up, and then we correct them. When you correct your thoughts, even if your brain doesn't believe it when you're first saying these things to it, continually saying it is going to forge new pathways within your brain. This is actual science called neuroplasticity. Forging new pathways in your brain when you tell it new things. So you change the direction. You're correcting the course of a ship, which is your life, which is your existence. So you replace negative with positive. You replace negative with gratitude. It's a great one. Say something that you're thankful for about yourself, about your life when a negative thought comes up. That's what you're replacing it with. All right, so that's what I talked about yesterday. Today, I want to talk about an interesting little thing that goes along with that. I'm reading a book that one of the key questions they're asking in it, the book is called The Big Leap. They're asking a question: are you okay with feeling better about yourself inside? And then a second question: are you okay with feeling better about yourself for an extended period of time? And a third question: are you okay with feeling good about yourself all the time? So when we ask ourselves those questions, at some point, there's usually a catch. At least there was for me when I first read that. Like, hold up, we're not going to feel good all the time, and here's the reasons why. What this author is talking about is saying, I'm willing to not fight for the reasons why I shouldn't feel good anymore. I'm willing to open myself up to the possibility that I can feel good at all times, and I don't need to try to explain that notion away. So that's the first start. But something that goes along with that, and I want to tie back the word vigilance into what I want to talk about today. A lot of people, when you're really struggling with anxiety, depression, worry, low self-esteem, a lot of us are experiencing our minds running at a speed. Like I said yesterday, 50,000 thoughts can pass through your mind on any given day. So we're experiencing that, and the majority of them are negative. But it gets confusing because it's not just thoughts, it's also feelings. When we think something, and even if we correct it, there's that lingering feeling, and that feeling feels real because it is a real feeling within us. Here's what my challenge is for you today. My challenge is I'm going to show you a way that you can break through that cycle also of feelings to show you that you are actually deeper than your feelings. You, who you are at your core, is not your feelings. You are an observer that is behind all of that, watching all of it take place and choosing what you want to identify with and what you want to attach yourself to become more of. So the way that you can do it, it's very simple. It starts off with just listening. Now, what I want you to listen for is everything. I want you to get outside if possible. Try this exercise for 5, 10, 15 minutes if you've got the time. Get outside, or you can do it inside. It doesn't matter. Listen. Stop everything that you're doing and just listen to all the external things that are going on outside of your head. Concentrate on those things. A great thing to start with is your breathing. Start with your breathing. You hear the air going in and out. You're concentrating all of your brain's focus on that sound. Add to it then all of the sounds that are surrounding you, that are outside of you. If there's a car honking, if there's birds singing, if there's wind rustling through the trees. All of these things are external points that are data points of actual reality. Things that are actually taking place at this moment and at this moment. The snapping of my fingers is this moment as you're listening to this. Listen to those things. And when you concentrate on them fully, you will realize that if you spend the time with your attention and effort fully on the external, forever how brief of a period it is, you will not also be able to simultaneously hold on to that thought pattern that allows you to experience the feelings that you're having. All that it takes is a split second. If you can do it for a split second, you have cracked open the window into an understanding about who you truly are and that you are not your feelings that you are experiencing on top of that. Your feelings are almost like a blanket over you. Yes, you feel them, but you are the thing underneath that's feeling them. You're not the actual blanket. You're the thing underneath the blanket. Another analogy would be bubbles. Thoughts and feelings are like bubbles. They're floating past you, just like a little kid blowing some bubbles. They're floating past you. You can choose to watch them continue to go past, and when you do that, you're getting attached to it. You're sitting there, you're mesmerized by it. Or you can reach up and you can pop it. Or another way to look at it is you're keeping your focus straight ahead. A bubble is going past your line of vision, and you're choosing not to follow it with your eye gaze. So your eyes stay right here, the bubble's going right past you. That's what your thoughts and your feelings are ultimately when you understand that you are not your feelings. All that you need is a brief window. So your vigilance comes in the fact that now we're going to show you a brief window into the space that you really are and help you to be able to remove the things that you're not. So something that you can do, listen, break through that window. And then the question becomes, if you can break through that window at this one tiny little spot, are you interested in opening that window further? So instead of it being a split second where you're not listening to your thoughts and your feelings and you're recognizing who you really are behind it, are you willing to open that window a little bit further to where it goes from a split second to maybe a minute? Are you willing to let it go to 5 minutes? Are you willing to let it go to an hour? Do you think it's possible to go a whole day where you understand that you are not your thoughts and you actually just push them out of the way every time they come in front of you, or you choose to ignore them and you stay focused and planted in the here and in the now? If you can do that, you will begin to change the outlook on your very reality, because it's no longer you chasing around these thoughts and feelings and being captive to them. Now what it is it's you saying, I have control of my mind. I have control of my brain. And I'm choosing to take all of this junk, whoosh, push it to the side, and I'm going to be very happy and feel good about myself in this moment. I'm allowing myself to, because I'm removing the clutter and I'm saying I'm not going to think about that. And the way that you can choose to not think about it, to practice teaching your mind to push it out by focusing on the external. After you do sound, you can add to it sight, and you can add to it the way that you feel, your physical body, the things that you have on your skin, the temperature changes, breezes, Add in all of those things. I call that 3D now. Engaging 3 senses of this moment of actual reality: sight, sound, and feel. We'll go into more of it later on. That's my thought for today. Vigilance can lead to opening a window to showing you who you really are, in allowing you to embrace this moment and understand that you are not your feelings. You are deeper than your feelings and your thoughts. So when they come your way, you have control to push them out of the way and to be present and to be at peace and to feel good about yourself here in this moment. That's what I got for you today. If you like this, you can go to Darren Keim, YouTube, like, subscribe, or share, and I'll talk to you again in the near future.